Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Nightmare difficulty playthrough. Today, we will be picking up where we left off, as that is meet to do, and that will take us to the fight with Ultron, and probably even up to the fight with Ultimo. But before we move too far ahead, let's go ahead and smash this box, just like you should smash the like button, and while you're down there, go ahead and check and see if you're subscribed, and feel free to do so if you're not, because that greatly helps me out, and we are soon to round the corner on 350 subscribers, which is always exciting to see. I don't think that there was a box down here. Let's just peer back to make sure. No, there was not. So we'll be up here, and this is the next training facility, the more robust of the two, I suppose. Looks like we've got a gravity cursed enemy, and we have a movement slowing cursed enemy. The best way to deal with the gravity curse is to, or the movement slow, is to move past and away from them. So let's get those guys locked in. And then we can focus on this terminal. And there we are, we've got them moved out. Now you'll probably notice that I have a new team member, or a new couple of team members on the team. That being Captain Marvel and Captain America. That's because we're still working on the grind to get them up to par with the rest of, well, with all of the characters, as we're trying to get everyone up to level 300. And so you're probably going to notice that there are a couple of rank ups over the course of the rest of this series here. Alright, we've got some blue ISO there, some very low tier, low quality ISO. And then what's in the box back here? An EP restoration orb, so nothing super exciting. Let's head up to the storage terrace, see what we've got here. Looks like we have a self-heal cursed enemy here. We've probably got another one out. It's another self-heal, actually. And there we are. Captain Marvel already getting 2 levels back to back, but that's kind of normal, as the level requirements are pretty low at the lower levels. And there we are. She gets another one. It also helps that I have some experience boosting ISO equipped to her, and actually all the other members of the team, so you're probably going to see that message pretty frequently from her as we continue through. And now, one fun fact is that over here to the left, there is a very unique box. Is this box right here is the only one that you can get at multiple points during your run. And by multiple points, I mean you can get it before the Ultron fight, or you can get it after the Ultron fight. But since we're already here, let's go ahead and smash it open. It was pretty underwhelming anyway. And then let's face off against Ultron and his cronies. And of course, he's got the movement slowing curse. And let's get a couple heavy attacks in to get him into his second phase. And he's probably going to be unavailable. It looks like we've got a freeze enemy active. So we've got to take him out as quickly as we can. And then the hitbox trajectory is so weird on a lot of Ultron's attacks. Alright, that'll get him into his second phase, or his third phase, excuse me, which should be the third and final phase. And that was not the synergy attack that I probably should have used. And let's hit him one more time. And there we have Captain Marvel hitting 2 levels back to back. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. And 2 cutscenes, one after the other here. So we've got to get the next section of this fight taken care of. And this can be kind of hairy based off of the interactions that Ultimo can throw at us. Doesn't look like we have too much of a challenge. We've got an electrical ability curse, a poison ability curse, which is definitely my least favorite of the curses. An ally heal curse going on over here. And an ice curse. The fire curse, the only one we haven't seen is the self-heal curse, as well as the thorns curse, but I won't complain too loudly if we don't see the thorns one. And here we are with the start of the Ultimo fight. So we'll want to jump back down to the left and hop on that at our earliest convenience. Activate that lift and get up into the next section here. So the trick here, at least with Thanos Infinite on the team, is you will want to bring your A game. And even if you don't have Thanos Infinite, if you have Cable on the team, you'll want to set up a gravity surge right here as soon as Ultimo starts his attack. And you can achieve that with Cable if you don't have access to Thanos Infinite. And that will just assure that you bring in the opponents that you're needing to focus down to get through this section of the fight quite a bit quicker. Though I do think that Thanos' Gravity Surge is probably a little bit stronger comparatively to Cable's. It looks like we've got another Burning Curse, another Burning Curse, so 2 of them, along with an Ice Curse active here. There's one more over here. There we are. Let's get up to the roof to start this section. And Ultimo, I don't expect anything to really change from him at all. We're mainly just seeing the differences in the Ultron sentries as we continue through this fight. And hopefully my team quickly mounts onto these other turrets. Now I don't know if there's really any damage difference between hitting on the head and hitting on the chest. As far as I can tell, there's not really a difference, and I certainly know that there aren't any critical hits differences into this fight because there's a overall lack of yellow numbers as we're hitting that. And now that we've got these guys taken out, we can move into the second phase. Now, one thing that you may not know about this fight is you do have these little Ultron sentries that come up and they're shrouded in yellow. You can actually target onto them with your turrets and take them down. It's ill-advised in my opinion because you can achieve a much better use of damage in the layering it directly into Ultimo. But it is something that you can do, and you saw that it kind of auto-locked onto him just there. And you see his health bar starting to drip. But, again, I think that you're much better suited to kind of just leave your main attack damage onto Ultimo directly. Especially because, well, this last section, it's nigh impossible to get. In fact, from everything that I've seen and tested, it is impossible to get the one cycle. It's going to always require a 2-cycle hit. And let's go ahead and get on this. We actually probably just committed an error that's going to keep us from cycling this. We'll probably be fine, actually. But it was a lot closer than what I would have liked based off of the damage that we dealt with the extreme attacks and the delay we had in getting onto those turrets there. But it is something you want to be cautious of. Alright, well, let's come talk with Vision and move over to the Xavier Institute. Alright, here we are at the Xavier Institute, and I don't have to fight these Sentinels here. This is a completely optional set of enemies. But because we're looking to get as much damage in and as much experience onto Captain Marvel as possible, I think that it is worth taking a look at. Now, that right there is a piece of tech that I have not yet employed in any of my speedruns, though I think that it is certainly a beneficial play to make. Let's get this and throw it into this guy. Mainly because it saves about 15 to 20 seconds of layering in just standard attacks on these Sentinels. They are a very nice source of experience, though. Probably because they have relatively high health pools. Let's take out the cursed dude. Especially because if you were to take out these other two first, they would respawn back in and cause a couple more problems than what they're worth. Looks like there's only going to be one more after this. And he just spawned in on this side here, and that was a miscalculation on my part by throwing that while he had jumped. Because now that means we need to layer in with brute force attacks. And anticipated a skip there, but there isn't one. So that was foolish on my part. Okay, that core disappeared. I thought for a moment we probably could have taken that into this little section with us. But unfortunately that was not the case. And let's just detonate that, finish you off, and move on to the backside of the mansion with the Blackbird and our first encounter with Beast, which is a candid conversation, which, for the sake of this, we will blatantly ignore. So now, we're going to need to focus on taking down this Infinity Sentinel. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do much with our extreme attacks right off the bat. But if we plan accordingly, we can layer in our attacks against him there. And that should just be about be all of it. Except I got the bug where Thanos did not fully execute his extreme attack, so we lost a lot of DPS there. But no matter, we were able to sweep him pretty handily anyway. So now, if you have a relatively low-level team, I recommend just throwing this section of the fight. But because Thanos is capable, we're going to want to see if we can take them on. Now, I honestly expected all three of these adversaries to have a curse active, but it turns out it's just Magneto. And I'm focusing on Mystique because she is the weakest of the three. And that is all we need in order to get through into the next section here. So now it's just a matter of making sure Juggernaut does not send us through any of these walls, as he's a one-hit KO in this section, which isn't the end of the world, because as long as we make it to here, we're fine. But now that we have got to this point, before we continue into the next section in the fight with Juggernaut, I think we're going to call... No, we're not going to, because there's not a... Oh, yes, we will, because there is a shield emblem right here. But this is where we're going to call off today's episode. Again, thanks for watching. If you're enjoying this series, please feel free to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more daily content. And we will see you tomorrow with my overall review of Marvel Avengers for PlayStation 4. So, thanks again, and you have a great rest of your day.